Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios. I'm your stock miner, Brian Johnson. Hope you like the intro. I'm going to be playing around with the site a little bit over the next few weeks, so intros might change, things might change completely with the site. We'll just see how quickly I can get through some of this stuff. Anyway, hope you like the intro. I'm going to be changing that around. I like it a lot better than what I had been doing. It was time for a change. So I've had a little bit of extra time lately to work on this stuff, so I hope you enjoy it. As for the markets, big move today by the bulls. You can see this low base formation we had been watching down here was broken today. Broken by the bulls. They pushed it upwards here. Was it a low base before we moved up? Was it a low base, or was it a base before we moved down? It was a base before we moved up. Saw it on the gap this morning, and it ran up all day long. Market internals confirmed the move completely. But where do we go? Right back into overhead resistance. Now, I'm still thinking that there might be a little bit more of a move left to the upside here. Hard to tell. If you're an Elliottician, it'd be a 1, 2, 3. This is a sideways 4 with a 5 push left. Could be an ABC type of a move. I don't know, looks to me more like a 1, 2, 3 with a sideways 4. We're holding above the 200 period moving average and below the 50 by the end of the day, but ultimately we just flew through the 20 and the 200 right into this area here, and it's holding very, very nicely. So any break up and above 11,200, your next area to start looking to the long side. To the long side. Then above that, I'd start looking at things like 11,300. Just keep moving your stops up after that. If you want to hold over the weekend, that's up to you. I'd be very cautious about doing that, but completely up to you. Manage it as you will once you get in. If we look at a daily, we had a potential reversal candle on some of the markets yesterday. And here we got confirmation. This 50 held beautifully. Look at how well this held. Right down into it, test, hold, and today blast off, coming right back into upper, which is where? Right near the 20-day moving average. So watch this very carefully tomorrow. This is going to drop a little bit tomorrow, so up over that 11,200 mark and ultimately up over that 20-day moving average is where you'd be looking at for any further move to the upside. But you'll want to watch those levels very closely coming in tomorrow. Let's see if we get a flat day, maybe a consolidation day, could be anything. Overall, though, options expiration has not disappointed. Volatility, always expected, mentioned in my weekend video, and we got it this week. Big move down, followed by a big move up. Very common for options expiration weeks to see this type of movement within the markets. NASDAQ 60-minute, 1, 2, 3, maybe a 4 pullback. Maybe it comes back a little bit further. At the end of the day, this did not see quite the bump the rest of the markets did, but overall for the day, it was up every bit as much as the other markets were. So, did not hit this overhead resistance area on any push up. That would be the area I'd watch closely. Make sure it gets up and over 2150 before you start looking at any long plays on the NASDAQ. That would also clear the 20-day moving average on the NDX, which is now sitting at 2142. 2142. Keep that in your charts for tomorrow. Weekly, coming back to look like a doji. Got a day left, so I really am going to wait to see what we get by the end of the week. This could turn around tomorrow and come back down. That's why I always like to wait till the end of the week before I comment on a lot of these weeklies. I just don't know what the candles are going to look like. I don't know what information I'm going to have in front of me. But right now, right back towards the top, if we get any kind of a sideways move tomorrow, maybe even a little push up, this is going to make this look once again like kind of a high base formation, and it's going to make it look once again bullish. Go figure, coming into Thanksgiving and Christmas makes perfect sense, actually. Perfect sense. SPX 60 minutes, same type of look. 1, 2, 3, pulling back at the 50 period moving average. Got a ways to go before we hit this overhead area, but I like it up and over 1200. Watch it then back around 1208, 1210, then back into this 1215-ish area for your next overhead resistance levels. This was, once again, more of a wasn't a low base formation, which is what the NASDAQ gave us. I'm sorry, the Dow gave us. The NASDAQ and both the SPX gave us this kind of a look, which was a little bit more of a 1-2 type of a look coming into the end of yesterday. Here was the 3 move today. Now maybe we could see a little bit more of a pullback even tomorrow for 4, or if we head up from here with maybe a gap up tomorrow, we could see the end of the 5 wave. I'd put that upwards. Yeah, I'd start looking, towards 1205, 1215, somewhere around in that area. From the daily perspective, the SPX here saw the big bounce right back into and stopping at just below actually the 20-day moving average. So, as I mentioned, any move back into the 20 should hold as resistance, and it did for at least one day. Now, it did come above it by the end of the day, closed back below it, so still some life left for the bears. But any further push up and over, I think that 1200 area is going to give you a little bit more of a bullish look coming into the end of the week. So watch that move up and over 1200. Weekly as well, right back above the 200-week moving average. I'd mentioned this. I said, yeah, see what it looks like at the end of the week. I think the bulls would want to hold this line. Looks like the bulls might want to hold this line. So this is the big number here, 1191-ish or so coming into tomorrow. Watch that closely and see if we get a move below that or a close below that ultimately in the bigger picture. That's what the bears are looking for. Otherwise, bulls still look very, very good up here. Here's the VIX on a daily, and right back down we go. Not getting that close above 2350. Really wanted to close above 2350. Looked like we might have been onto something here. Had the break above, two closes above, break above, closing above this gray line, but we did not get that break above 2350, and here we are again, right back down into these lower levels. So actually not all that disappointing for me. That means my options are going to get cheap again, so not all that worried. From a weekly, let's see where this closes, but it looks like it's going to get right back into this formation that we've been watching for a very, very, very long time. That would also leave a lot of room to roam to the downside on the VIX, allowing us a lot of room to maybe move our way up through Thanksgiving and maybe even into and through the Christmas season. Apple 60-minute, big move up as well. How many of you wish you had calls bought on this? Yeah, I'm one of them, waving my hands there. A big move was certainly, you know what, it really wasn't worth it for me to take a risk on it, but worked out very well. Look where it bounced today, ran straight up all day long, right back into this overhead resistance, and that's where it held by the end of the day. Looking for pushes back above 310. That would be your next intraday level to be watching coming into tomorrow. Tomorrow is the actual expiration day. Well, technically it's Saturday, but the markets aren't open on Saturday, so anyway, you know what I mean if you're an options player. Tomorrow's your last day to get in or get out of your November options contracts. Start moving ahead towards whatever, March, April, December, whatever it is, whatever your risk allows for. Tomorrow's the last day of the week. We'll see where we close. Make sure we get back up and over the 20-day. I think I told you 310. That would be a very good place to be looking for a long play in Apple. If we get any kind of movement to the upside tomorrow within the markets, this would be one to definitely watch. Apple Weekly, put it in that little doji. This looks like a very, very nice high base. This could make for a beautiful trade coming into Christmas. If the markets get bullish over Christmas, I am really going to be watching Apple hard. FAS 60-minute, break up and out and over this line right here, holding very nicely again. Your next break is really back up and over this if you want to take a long in that. Otherwise, short side, ooh, I'd be careful. Be very, very careful here. Yeah, I think if I'm going to play FAS or FAZ, it's going to be FAS long up over 2350. I'm not going to worry about it short unless it gets below 22. FAZ on a 60-minute, that one's going to be more, I think I'd be looking for that one more to the short side here, below 1150, and then it's really up to you. Back above 1250 before I start looking at a long in FAZ. You got to be so careful here. Be really, really cautious with these over the coming into the weekend. If the markets get volatile, the banks will most certainly get volatile along with them, and this could go any which way. Here are your overhead resistances, though, to watch. Notice how we broke this line. Now we're holding it. So we want breaks below 1150 for entries. I think, I don't know. There's really, I'm very neutral on these right now, guys. I won't commit one way or the other because it'd be completely disingenuous of me to just pretend like I can give you a direction here. I can't. Sometimes the market is just what it is, and right now this is very neutral. it can go either way. Just keep those levels in mind that I gave you both for FAS and FAZ. Do not trade unless it breaks those levels. That would be the best advice I could give you on those at this time. Apple's got a good opportunity maybe to hop up a little bit back above that 310 level. Watch that closely. Once you're in the profits by a good 50 cents to a buck, I'd protect those profits. Doesn't mean you have to jump out, but I'd protect them for sure. Managing your trade once you're in is so very important. Oh man, that'll make you or cost you extra money. If you don't know how to manage your trade, you're in a lot of trouble. So be very careful with your entries coming into the last day of the week, and we will see you again. Oh, sorry, FAS on a daily. Back below 1150, still back above 1250 before I start looking at that stuff. Okay, now we're done. You notice how we did not break these overhead levels? Kind of what I expected. This does not surprise me at all, the move down here. So let's see. Back above 1250, back below 1150 for your trades. Okay, now we really are done. We'll see you again tomorrow in the week ending video. Bye.